Hello, it's September, so obviously that means it's time for me to return to booktube. It is my my homecoming to upload a Shorty September TBR. That's basically the last video I uploaded, and I've recorded so many videos this year, including one like last week, so I don't know if I'll edit that one and upload it. And then just whenever it's time to get to the editing part, I'm just like not into it. But I love Shorty September. It's run by the wonderful Bert and Sean over at PaStory Time, and also Heather at Soggy Expat Book Nerd. And also this is kind of a Straya September TBR as well, because in Heather's TBR video she talked about how there is another readathon going on in September that's Australia themed, run by Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. And I'm immigrating to Australia soon, and I just felt like as a resident of Australia I should partake. I definitely have plenty of Australian books that I have not read yet, that are sitting on my physical TBR and in my mental TBR, so away we go. Heather, the very talented Heather, created a zine. Daisy, come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come on. Created a zine for the readathon. I did not print it in color nor put it together. I just printed it out and filled it in. Come here. You want to make an appearance? She's so happy to be back. Right? It's almost wet food time, so, but she can wait. So, first I'm just gonna go through the readathon prompts and what I picked, and then I have a big bag of possibilities to complete the month. September is like the busiest month of the year for me this year, not usually. And so why I'm, making all these plans, I think I can stick with these. I think I can do this. I heavy loaded it with like audiobooks, and they're short books, so I feel like it's accomplishable. But yeah, if you didn't know, I'm doing like an art show this month. If you're interested in following that, I talk more about it on Instagram, so you can check it out there. Instagram's linked below. AV Club. I'm AV Club everywhere. Okay. I don't know if this is the order that I was meant to be in because I didn't do the scene, but I'm just gonna go in order of what it looks like to me. The first one being Pedro Pascal Short's An Unexpected Purchase. This is actually going to be an unexpected library find, and it is I'm Not Hungry But I Could Eat by Christopher Gonzalez. And this is unexpected for me because the binding, the photography, the typography, the overall design, it's not giving. This is not appealing to me on first glance, but it's blurbed by Brian Washington and Raven Leilani, so I was like, okay, like let me just like look a little bit deeper, don't judge a book by its cover. And looking at the back of it, it's 15 short stories about the lives of bisexual and gay Puerto Rican men, and that sounded like something I've never read before, and how it was blurbed makes it sound very good. And so yeah, that's why it's unexpected, because like I would have without the blurbs I wouldn't have actually read the back of it. I would have just been like, this looks not for me, but I'm optimistic about it. Yeah, so just picked that up at the library, and that's going to be, I'm also not huge on short story collections when I'm trying to read fast, because I don't ever sit and read them all in one go. So also unexpected for that reason, because I don't know how fast I'll actually read it whenever I'm trying to read for speed this month. The next one is Dolphin Shorts, a book with water on the cover, and I have picked Sweet Lust by Asia Bakic, I think is the pronunciation, if I looked it up correctly. And this is also a short story collection, but audiobook, which also, I don't like short stories on audiobook because it doesn't give me like enough time to like get into the short story to like, you know, figure out where I am in the world. But these 11 stories interweave feminist critique, intertextuality, and science fiction tropes in an irreverent portrait of our past, present, and future, by a Bosnian author. This was a book that I found like whenever I was doing Women in Translation Month searching for August, and it's short. I didn't get to it this month, so I'll read it next month for Shorty September. All right, Shorty Shorts, a 70s or 80s book, and I have picked The Fifth Child by Doris Lessing. This was a book that was sent to me by Juan over at Plagued by Visions, and really don't know too much about it except there's a family, their fifth child is monstrous and violent, and the day's events take a dark and ugly turn nearing apocalyptic intensity. This sounds like something that's like the right kind of read for Shorty September. Like, I need some drama. All right, half and half shorts. Read a book, then watch the movie. Stay with me. It's not like an adaptation of the book, but it is a book about a movie. Sweet for Barbara Loden by Nathalie Leger is a book about the movie Wanda, which is the only film that Barbara Loden ever wrote and directed. So it's a book moving contrapuntally, absolutely not, contrapuntally between biography and autofiction, film criticism and anecdote, fact and speculation. Sweet for Barbara Loden is a stunning meditation on knowledge and self-knowledge. I bought this book knowing that I hadn't seen the movie Wanda, and I was like, it'll be like a double feature, and this is the perfect time for a double feature. So I think what I'll do is I'll watch the movie first and then read the book. I think would be the best way to do it, right? You know, even though like I won't be able to like watch the movie with like thinking about all the things these people said, I think it'll be fresh enough in my mind. The next one is Spanx, a book with magic or witchcraft. And for this, I'll be reading Of Sorrow and Such by Angela Slatter, which is a book about a witch. For the Hoochie Daddy shorts, the spicy read or revealing gossipy biography. I think I need like the recommendations for the gossipy biography that are like under 200 pages because that sounds fabulous. But for this, I've picked Simple Passion by Annie Ernaux, which is a novella about, maybe a long short story, a novella about a woman who starts an affair with a married man. That sounds spicy enough for me. Perfect. For Lodge Shorts, a book you bought because you were trying to look cool. I wouldn't say that I was trying to look cool, but Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo was recommended, I think just broadly recommended, as a favorite book of Juan at Plagued by Visions, and I think he's someone who's much cooler than me. So in that way, buying a book that I know he really likes, and I know, like, I think he has cooler reading taste than me, in that way, I guess, looking cool. But do I know what it's about? I read it at some point. A stunning novel from Mexico depicting a man's strange quest for his heritage. Surreal, vivid sensory images, violent passions, inexplicable sorcery. A style that's come to be known as magical realism. 1955. Oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. That's incredible. I'm very ready to read this. This is I'm hoping to read all of them, but this one will get read. If nothing else gets read, that one will get read. Okay, Denim Shorts, a modern classic. I think this is like the best modern classic book I could have picked. The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. I feel like this is like the definition of modern classic, where I feel like this is a book that everyone read in school except for me. Like, it even has like a classic sticker on it from the library. I think it's middle grade. The story of a young Latina girl growing up in Chicago, inventing for herself who and what she will become. All I know is people like really read this in school. That's all I know about it. And I like Chicago. I feel like I picked it even though there was like stuff that I could have picked that would have been like something off my physical TBR, but like that's something that I think everyone knows about except for me, and so I feel like this is the time to pick it up. Okay, for Mom Shorts, a comfort read. I don't know what I'm reading yet. I think I'm gonna read a Philip K. Dick. As you may know, my year of Dick did not go as planned. I think I read like 2 or 3 books in the year of Dick, where I was supposed to be reading like all of the physical Philip K. Dick books that I have on my TBR, because I have a lot, and multiple of these books. Okay, but here's the thing, is like not all 200-page books or sub 250-page books are created the same. Like this is technically 160-ish. I know it's gonna take the life out of me. This one's 212. That's like, this is a very dense 212. So this might be one that could sub for something else. I think maybe my comfort read will end up being like, I'm comforted that I don't have to read one of these. I love him. I don't love him. I love, you know, it's really complicated with him, because he wasn't a good person, and not all his books are really good either, but there's something about it that makes me want to read it. This one is about like a Vulcan supercomputer. The synopses are always so funny because it's always just like some bullshit that only he would write. A supercomputer responsible for all major decisions. Some people don't like being taken out of the equation, and others resent the idea that the Vulcan's taking the place of God. I don't know. And then this one too, Counterclock. Oh, this was Vulcan's Hammer. This one's Counterclock World. In Counterclock World, time has begun moving backward. People greet each other with goodbye, blow smoke into cigarettes, and rise from the dead. There's a famous and powerful prophet, Anarch Peak. Like, I really would love to get to one of these this month. But they're not created the same as like other short books. Like, these take a lot longer to read for me than any of these other books would. Okay, I'm like so excited for this next one. I haven't read this author yet. I had Optic Nerve out on loan and I just didn't get to it this month. But for Rift Shorts, a mystery or slasher, I'm reading Portrait of an Unknown Lady by Maria Gainza, which, I mean, like, get into this. In the Buenos Aires art world, a master forger has achieved legendary status. Rumored to be a woman, she seems especially gifted at forging canvases by the painter Mariette Lidis, a portraitlist of Argentine high society. But who is this absurdly gifted creator of counterfeits? Is it like a traditional mystery? No, but it sounds like there's a mystery in it and I want to read it. And so that's what we're reading for that prompt. It sounds so good. For Elizabethan Shorts, a historical read, I have chosen Kibogo by Scholastique Mukasonga, which is a marvelous recounting of the clash between ancient Rwandan beliefs and the missionaries determined to replace them with European Christianity. She is like an author that I've wanted to read for a long time, but the library just doesn't have this. I think it's new that they have the audiobook, because like I haven't seen it on there before, and I don't know, I just have gotten to other things first, but has been on my radar for a while, so I'm excited to finally get to reading her this month. And for my last one of the official prompts, for Lederhosen, a translated book, I have picked Tell Me How It Ends by Valeria Luiselli, who also blurbed this book. We love it. We love, you know, tying it all together. And this book is, a lot of these books are translated already that are on my list. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 other books are translated, but this one, Luiselli herself is translating and asking undocumented Latin American children facing deportation 40 questions. And so the book is called like Tell Me How It Ends, an essay in 40 questions. So I figured since it's a book about kind of the act of translation, that's the one that I would actually count for this prompt. So that's all the official prompts. For Straya September, are we so excited? Gunpowder Fiction and Plot had like a recommendation video, and from that I pulled No Hard Feelings by Genevieve Novak, which seems like a somewhat raunchy young woman book. A really funny book. So that seems like something that could like very easily slide into this month. Also picked up a book that I've been meaning to read for a while, The Rain Heron by Robbie Arnott, who is a Tasmanian author, and I loved Flames by him, which is set in Tasmania, and he's really gifted at writing about the environment, about animals, and The Rain Heron is about the environment and animals, so very excited to get to that. I have picked, I think this was on my Shorty September, one of my TBRs, is The Road to Woop Woop. See, this is a short story collection. This is why I'm a little bit nervous about the other ones, but Eugen Bacon is an African-Australian author. I think, going to say this because there are prompts for Straya September, and I think the books I've picked fulfill all those because they're authors from different states, from different countries, from different indigenous backgrounds. So I think my books fulfill all those prompts, but if they don't, then this is what I'm reading. This is a speculative collection with over 20 stories in it. I've read a few, 1 or 2 previously, and I'm just going to keep going from there because we're going to read as much as we can this month. And then also picked Terra by Claire G. Coleman, which I believe is, like how it's described on the back, I believe it's like the colonization of Australia story, but swapped so that the like white settlers are the natives and settlers are swapped. Anyway, a speculative story. And that's I have like some other Straya September, like I was looking for like short horror writing. We'll see if I can find some of that. This is all subject to change. Now, I've got a big bag. Like that seems like enough, right? But no, I went to the library. This was also a possibility for this month, which I know was on like, I think both of the other Shorty September TBRs that I made, and that's how far I got into it. You know, it is what it is. So I have like other audiobooks saved, which those are much more likely to be gotten to. But then I also got a big library haul. So I might as well show that here because I just pulled all of the short books that I could find. That's for something else. And it would be awesome to get to more of these this month. This one, does this count as a short? I feel like this is a short read for me because even though it's bigger, I read this a lot faster. I am so excited to get to another Junji Ito story collection because after reading like The Liminal Zone, which I think came out like this year or last year, like his newer stuff is like his best stuff, which is wild because he's been famous for so long, and he just keeps popping off, can't be stopped. Had picked this up for maybe like a historical read, Train Dreams by Dennis Johnson, which is set in the American West at the start of the 20th century. People seem to love it. Don't know that I'll be getting to that this month. Isis by Douglas Clegg. I think I probably will get to this because like look how I needed like a short horror read, and there's like illustrations in it too. Seems very cool. Laughing Maiden, Sea Cliffs, Cornwall, Ancestral Homes, you know, that kind of like British horror. Picked this up for maybe like a book to movie situation. You Were Never Really Here. Did I even know that this was based on a book? No. By Jonathan Ames. Seems like, and I mean like it's really like, this one's less than 100 pages. Cool. Poppy Z. Bright with a antediluvian tales. The antediluvian in question is like all these stories are from before Katrina. Poppy Z. Bright is marked with Louisiana fiction. I think kind of like has lived in New Orleans and written about New Orleans enough that we've kind of adopted him as actually Louisianian. Like I don't think we're like skeptical of him. So I don't know that this is horror. I think it's just another, see, it's 5 stories from the family, the characters that are in one of his series of novels, and so I don't know that this actually makes sense to read without having read those. I think I should read something else first, like one of his horror books, but you know, whatever. The Stepford Wives, IR11, another book to movie possibility. I've seen the movie already, so really I just have to read the book and we could call it a day. Walks with Men by Anne Beattie. This was a possibility for a book to look cool because, not that I think this book would make me look cool, but Blurb by Miranda July, and I definitely read No One Belongs Here More Than You in high school to look cool. So kind of like a transitive property that I would read this to look cool. You buying it? Denise Mina Rizzio. This was a possibility, still is a possibility for a historical read. It's a novel about David Rizzio, the private secretary of Mary Queen of Scots, who was brutally murdered. And I learned in the Straya September TBR video that it's also like Scots Timber readathon. I will not be looking into it because I'm not committing to anything else this month. This is it. But if I read this, then I would be like kind of like participating in that too. So, you know. This is apparently like a crime novelette. I think that sounds fun. Book about an assassination. And that's it. Yeah. So I have like other things saved on my library app as far as audiobooks, but I think that gives me plenty to work with. I'm so excited about Shorty September and Straya September, and you know, leave me a comment, leave me some encouragement to actually get through all these. Do you think it's possible? I think it's possible. I think enough of it is audiobooks that that I can do it. And I think tomorrow, I'm scared to even say it, the high was 104 today. The high tomorrow is only like 98 or something, and then it's like on my weather app there's not a high above 100 for at least like the next 10 days, so we just have to believe that that's the truth. This is like the first time that I remember ever having a complete burn ban here, that there's wildfires going on in the swamps, and you know, I hope everyone, wherever you are, everyone's going through climate change in different ways right now, so hope that you are good and safe wherever you are. Hopefully it rains this week and I'm no longer at risk of evacuation from wildfires, which I did not think would ever be anything to worry about in Louisiana, but here we are. So I hope everyone's well. Leave me a comment if you're participating in Shorty September, if you've read any of these books, if you have any thoughts, if you think I'm gonna read one of those Philip K. Dicks. Let me know. But I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.